emotionally damaging for me. You think I'm looking like Bhutni, you think I'm looking ugly right now? So then, and if I'm looking, in fact, if I'm looking like, no, I want to answer this. If I'm looking like Bhutni, great, that's what the movie is all about. Please go watch me looking like a Bhutni. So, of course, we all know he's a legendary star. And I've always been his fan and I've always watched all his films and loved his work. He is, I think, an actor par excellence. And so I was very, very nervous, and I remember the first day when I met him in Pune, I didn't have, like, we were in the same scene, like the same shot, but he was quite far away from me and we did not have any dialogue or verbose with each other. So I remember thinking that, okay, I'll go meet him and I'll tell him what a big fan I am of his, and, you know, we'll chit chat and ask him so many questions, and all I said was hello. Hello sir, how are you? Big fan. That's it. That's all. And towards the end, when we, but they were mostly all like harness action sequence. So I actually mustered up the courage to one day go up to him and say, sir, you know, I would like to sit down with you and get to know your process and how you. I have some questions about some of your very, very old films, and I would like to know. So he very, very ceremoniously asked me to sit down next to him on a chair, and then I asked him a few questions. My heart was so happy. So that's what it is. But when you see him in this film, he has done all his action himself, and his comic timing is super. I mean, I don't think I'm eligible to talk about him or his acting. He's that good. He's that brilliant. So yeah, it was a wonderful experience. सबने मिलके, I think, including our director Sir Siddhant Sir, सब संजय सर के सामने ही संजय सर की एक्टिंग कर रहे हैं. उनको माइंड कर रहे हैं, and he's just looking, and he was so amused, you know, he didn't mind it at all. Why would I? In fact, it's quite the opposite. When he came to me for the film, he must have narrated 15-20 minutes. He said, hang on, first of all, you have to promise me you're not going to take this script to anybody else. Because I loved it so much, I so wanted to be a part of this universe, of this story. Because, you know, sometimes you listen to something and no matter how much somebody is trying to coax you into doing a certain thing, it can be any work, it can be in any field, your heart doesn't want to do it because you don't feel like you belong. Somehow in this universe, I was like, I belong, I want to belong. I will make sure I'll become what you want me to be for this character. But please just cast me, and I'm just so very thankful and grateful that he did. I don't know about opening doors. I truly believe Junoon got me a lot of respect, which I was craving for a very, very long time. So I've always been thankful for that character. In fact, I thought I'm so outlandish in it, and you know, my garb was so different, and in a contemporary world, how would Junoon fit in? That was a big question mark for me. And you know, you see that garish makeup, the hair, but somehow, like, you know, audiences, whether it was young kids or elderly audience, they all seem to have liked it, and I can only be thankful for that. As far as why I was stuttering also, because I was thinking about the second part of your question, which was like, does it really, it's a mixture of, I think, space, time and action. You know, you have to be at the right place at the right time, and you have to be lucky enough to land parts and work with directors and actors that you really, really want to. Having said that, am I not very, very lucky that after Brahmastra I got to work in Bhutni, and I got considered to be a part of, my director could have also thought, na, Brahmastra, oh, she's already played like an outlandish character, it's pretty much a part of fantasy fiction, why cast Moni, cast somebody else. If he has shown me a conviction for me to play something like this, am I not the lucky one? So that's how I would like to see it. I really, truly think of her as this beautiful ball of light and this beautiful little girl. You know, she's so much younger than me, and she's starting out, and she has so much light, and she has so much talent. So I feel very happy. I feel like talent is the most attractive. I'm one of those people, I love dancing. So if I see a good performance, if I don't have the number, I'll ask for the number, I'll somehow find her and be like, hey, this performance is great. Or if somebody wins an award for something, a phenomenal work. So I've always been that person. And I think she also shares the same energy, and she's also extremely kind and sweet. So, and honestly, we're not like thickest of friends, and we don't know each other personally so well. But I'm looking forward to getting to know you, like, sooner or later. Because you see, Laapta Ladies wasn't that, didn't have a very, very successful run at the box office. But on an OTT platform, it did wonders. And you know, when you saw that film, you wonder why people are not going to a theatre for for a film like that. So, like you said, the times are very. Also, we have Zanam Teri Kasam. Also, because we have so many OTT platforms now and so much content that the audience can sit at home and binge watch. I think it's become very difficult for everybody to. I mean, people are in their homes thinking, why should we go and spend that money in theaters when we can get to see this film in OTT in a few months? So there is a lot of why this, why that, why did this happen, and why didn't it happen? I think in the end, it's all about what your film is, the kind of trailer that goes out, what the kind of information that you're giving out to the audience. And once they see the unit and they feel like, oh, I want to watch this film, they'll go. And if they feel like, oh, we can skip and watch it on an OTT platform, then they won't.